Cyber Ninja Online, guys, and welcome back to Dishonored. This is episode 3, and when we last left off, we had just finished the prison breakout, escape from Coldridge Prison. Here's a stat screen you would have seen at the end of the episode. What I did was I quick saved just before we ended the mission, just so I could pick up from this stat screen and just continue on as if it was like a continuous playthrough. Obviously, it's not really going to be a continuous playthrough. It could be, I mean, but hey. So all this stuff you've seen before, I'm not going to go over any of it. We're just going to head and hit continue here, and we're going to go on from there. So this next place is called the Hound's Pits Pub. We're going to be here multiple times. It's kind of the interval between missions, and it's pretty extensive here. I'm not going to spend all the time looking around here and whatnot, because like I said, you'll see it more and more. So I'm actually just going to be in and out of this place, with a couple of exceptions, but yeah. Hidden alleys. Hidden in an old bar on the river, your new allies have plans to share with you. Meet with the Loyalists' inner circle to learn what they've got in mind. So here we go.
This is the Hound Pits Pub, closed for business, half the district marked off as dead from the plague. We're right under the Lord Regent's nose, and he don't know a thing.
This is one of the infected districts that is cut off from the city.
If anyone finds out what we're up to, the Watch will break in with swords drawn. And now that you've escaped, the Lord Regent's going to be tearing the city apart.
But yeah, the reason they don't get caught here...
Take you up to meet Admiral Havelock and the rest of the Loyalists.
I'll tell you in a second.
The Admiral's a man to be reckoned with. If anyone can help you find that missing girl, Lady Emily, and clear your name, he can.
Let me put away my weapons here. So, yeah, before we follow him, I wanted to mention, so this is a infected district, so it's cut off from the rest of the city, and the reason they're not discovered is because it's cut off from the rest of the city, so no one actually comes here. Excuse me.
I expect they're hard at work in there. Best join them. They'll help you get whoever really killed the Empress.
So it's starting at last, Admiral.
We can continue this later, Lord Pendleton. The man of the hour is here. Corvo, I'm Admiral Havelock. A true servant of the Empire, like you. Until the Lord Regent purged those of us who wouldn't recognize his claim on the throne.
And I'm Lord Trevor Pendleton. I represent the nobility in our little group. But we all act as equals here at the Hound Pits Pub.
This is a momentous occasion, Corvo. I'm going to come out with it. We've been building a coalition of loyalists, aimed at ending the Lord Regent's tyranny and restoring the throne.
At risk of execution, we're committed to finding young Lady Emily and seeing her crowned as Empress.
We've got big plans, but we can't do any of it without you. We need your skills, your ability in a fight, and in helping us, we're going to help you destroy the men who murdered the Empress.
Sorry, you must be exhausted. We can discuss this further after you've recovered. But before you retire, you should introduce yourself to Piero. He's challenging at times, but his industrious mind buys him that right.
I'm pretty...
Piero's as much an artist as a technician. He's going to be crafting the gear you'll need. Go talk to him, and then get some sleep. We can talk more when you've rested.
Oh, you asshole. I think that's the guy we seen at the beginning staring at us, but I'm not 100% sure. Anyways, there was something I wanted to say. It's been 6 months, so you think these bad guys would have just killed Emily too, considering they had killed already one person, but I guess that's not a thing.
I'll be crafting your weapons and gear, all custom work. For you, I will create the tools of a master assassin. No! This cannot happen now. The tank of whale oil is running. Will you get a new tank from upstairs, please, while I hold this in place? Be careful. The oil's unstable. When it explodes, there's a terrible mess.
So I will be looking around a little bit. in this episode on some of these places. As he said, this is where whale oil. It's their fuel in this
That one is empty. A new tank, please.
in this universe, and it's also very explosive. So be careful when you handle it. Take that. Skolov's Technology in the New Age. Excerpt from a recent book detailing Skolov's machines. One of the adventures of Skolov's... Let me start over. One of the advantages of Skolov's technologies is that they share the same magnetic socket for the tanks of proceed whale oil they use as fuel. When a tank is exerted, another can be plugged into place with ease, and the process is simple enough that any common worker or even the lower guardsman of the city watch can handle the task. This applies to the arc pylon and wall of light security systems, we'll be seeing those later, as well as the powered carriages used for transport by those few who are wealthy enough to afford them. The only obvious downside of Skolov's designs is the vitality of the tanks themselves. A few incidents have occurred resulting in damaging to property or bodily harm whenever one of the tanks have exploded. So there we have a little bit of information about the whale oils. Used to be a blacksmith in a different era. Second solution. Excerpt from a series of newspapers, articles from prominent natural philosophers by Pure Joplin. I guess I'll read this too. It is through no fault of my own that the average citizen has expressed a preference for Sokolov's elixir from my own formula sold as Pure's remedy. A name I did not choose if you must know the truth. The public has spoken its usual message of idiocy. I don't just cross that word out. Spending their coin as a means of selecting Sokolov's formula over mine, which I believe to be equal if not superior. Much have been made over the popularity of these concoctions as a means of resisting this remarkable new plague. I say remarkable because the strain works with an efficiency we have not seen in the history of the Empire. This plague, now making its way through the city of Dunwall, is unrivaled by its effectiveness. I have studied it within the blood of those so afflicted, and it is nearly perfect, elegant in fact. And while it's true that Pure's remedy and Sokolov's elixir are known to protect the body against the plague equally, my own has properties not fully understood, which relate to the mind itself and the spirit, and it is in this way that my formula wins out. Here is where one should pay attention to this contest. For you see, Sokolov's elixir, with its emphasis on the brute animal body in a crass goo better suited for livestock, the subtle and secret variants and the key ingredients making up Pure's remedy ensure that it works on the higher functions that separate humankind from the mindless blue-jawed hagfish swimming in the Windhaven River. So those two are kind of competing with each other. They're both engineers. They both want to be the best one. Sokolov's more renowned than this guy, Pure. But you'll see more about them later. Pure's request is denied. Pure, no, I will not sign off on these purchases. A bag of powdered crystal, Tyvan ore. What's with these metals in crystal? What's wrong with the metals in crystal? King Sparrow feathers? If you need feathers, sacrifice your own pillow. Maybe at the academy everything you needed was paid off by the tariff and handed out willy-nilly. But this is my bar, or what's left of it. And we're operating on a budget. We're running low on oil, food, elixir, building materials, and everything else, so you've got to slow down. While I'm footing the bill, I will not approve your purchase unless they are absolutely required. No more copper wire or special herbs. If you need those things, go out and scavenge them. Half the city is in ruins, so no one is going to miss any of the odd crap you seem to need. Admiral Havlik. Guess that was important enough to take too. So we're actually supposed to go up here, which is where we're going to go right now. Nothing in his trunk. Failed experiments. Excerpt from a series of lectures on natural philosophy. Pure Joplin. Of course I have attempted to improve upon Sokolov's design. Of course. And why not? After all, it is likely that his thinking was influenced in some small way by our time together at the Academy. We are all part of a community, striving to unknot the mysteries of the cosmos. Even those among us who possess the greatest minds are often led to a fruitful line of consideration by, how does Yeah, I was on it. Bleh. I thought I got lost for a second there. How does one say it? Our intellectual subordinates. Sokolov is no exception to this, despite the glamour of genius he has cast over the aristocracy? Fuck. I know that word too, but for some reason I just can't think of how to pronounce it right now. And further, it is true that many of our experiments have failed. No need to gossip about it behind my back in your social clubs and in the very chambers of the academy itself. Great ambition requires risks. You may laugh now at the door to nowhere, but someday you will not. Your children will likely see it as commonly as you see the electric lamps lighting our streets at night. But a few short years ago, you would have laughed at Sokolov's arc pylon or wall of light. Your laughter, your condescending smiles, they are not nothing but evidence of your own limited imagination. Dead counter responsibilities. Excerpt from a manual on the City Watch procedures. Commissioned by the Lord Regent in the force of the growing plague crisis, the dead counter is a position that will only be given to officers, usually of junior or middle grades. In most matters of etiquette or curfew enforcement, these officers will defer to the acting officer on duty. However, any dead counter will have commanding in situations related to the plague and the handling of the dead, including those with late-stage plague symptoms called weepers in common parlance. We'll learn about more of those later. Starting in the month of rain, interested officers may apply for the test and, if accepted, for the 2-week training tour. Pay will be administered in coin and rations of elixir at 1.5 normal pay grade. Jesus Christ, it's a lot to read. Whale vivisection. Except for the notes of a natural philosopher aboard a whaling ship. Remarkably, each specimen I had the pressure of studying during the voyage possessed some minor variance of philosophy. On the second leg of the trip, east of Tivia, the crew hauled aboard a female some 42 inch in length. I estimated she weighed 35 tons and the ship sat low, rocking side to side through the night with her thrashing. By candlelight, I took her apart, sketching and taking notes. Against her bellowing, I cut into the mass of tentacles around her mouth. Within, I found row upon row of teeth and a baleen running along the upper jaw. Through this broom-like structure, I assumed she filtered food from the water that was too small to be chewed. Oil processing. Excerpt from the founder of the Greaves Whale House by Ebenezer Greaves. Out at the sea, they secure the beast with hooks, with lines cast from the main ship and from several smaller boats. Boys keep the whale from diving deep. Once it caught, a large hook is driven through the tail, which is used to hoist the creature up through the chute. They moan and bellow for some time as the men get them onto the deck, then lift them into the scaffolding overhead. The ship adjusts its prow and returns to port in Dunwall, where the crew works on the great capture, slicing off the fattest part while it still lives. That's pretty brutal. But yeah, so obviously they hunt whales here for their oil. They must have some pretty big ships. I don't know if it ever mentions if they go extinct or if they're in the risk of that or whatnot, but whale oil refilling station. Sokolov no longer has the upper hand with regard to supplies of whale oil. The good admiral has paid for the installation of my own system, which will enable me to work in this place. The oil tank dispenser, when activated, will produce an empty vessel for filling. When the empty tank is held near the oil tank refill pump, the magnetic attractor should take the tank and lock it. The correct configuration using the lever will begin the refilling process. Once refilling is completed, the tank can be removed and placed in service. Extreme caution must be used in handling the full tanks. They're quite unstable. The system is sound and well engineered. It appears that the Greaves Oil Company has done something correctly, for once.
The Academy teaches that absurd idea that the energy in whale oil arises from the need to maintain life functions at extreme ocean depths. The pressure and the cold are too much to endure without it. I speculate that a human being might, by a process of adaptation, produce high-energy humors in the body. I could build a tank that would slowly increase pressure on a subject over a long period of time and then observe them for years if need be to see if the formulation of energetic substances developed. Surely the Empress would be able to furnish me with public facilities subject to the necessary legal amnesty.
Alright. Let's, I don't think there's, yeah, we can't go anywhere else, so let's finally take this and move on out of this area. I am gonna go back and check the bar real quick, because I have to go through there anyways, so.
Now plug it in. Perfect. Thank you, Cole. Here, see? The assassin's mask. You're a wanted man, so everyone in the city knows your face. But this mask will mean terror to them. If you just hold still, fit must be precise. There. Can you see normally? Send the lens out of alignment. There. Better now? I could create more for you. Upgrades for your gear, weapons, munitions. But our situation here is desperate. Scavenge the city for valuables, and I will resell them on the black market. That should give us the money to craft the things you need. Tell me what I can make for you.
Yes, let's have a look. So this is the use for the coins, like I was telling you earlier. He sells all types of ammo you need. Crossbow bolts, obviously the main ammo there. Sleep bolts is a non-lethal way to use the crossbow. Crossbow is obviously always silent. Bullets for your gun, but that's loud. Spring razors are basically mines. Grenades, self-explanatory. Rewire tool. Now these are fun. It allows you to rewire circuitry and turn security systems to your advantage, consumed on use. It's basically like hacking, in a sense. What we're more concerned about is the upgrades. Now this is why we need lots of money. Right now we have 778 coins. As you see, most of these are base 600 coins. So, yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. We have to get the optics first. Now there's some things I'll never use. I'll probably won't use the mines or the grenades. Probably is what I'm saying. The crossbow, I'm probably gonna work on the crossbow. The sword for sure. Right now, what I'm gonna want is probably some of this stuff. Definitely in the mask and the bone charm capacity. And let's go bone charm. Leaves us with 178. Cheapest is 300, so we're done here for now.
You must be exhausted. I advise that you get some sleep. Your life will get even more difficult soon. You should rest while you can.
I'd like to look around for a while before I bed down.
Very well. You know best. Let me know if you need anything more.
Okay, the bone charm thing is going to come into play in a little bit, so I won't explain that now. Now I have the spyglass. It's attached to a mask, so now I can zoom in case I need to see things better. It's going to be a little bit helpful. It's not going to be game changing, obviously, but like I said, it's going to be a little helpful, so that's why I opt out for it. I'm just going to take a quick sweep of the bar, see if I see anything. And then I'll end up heading upstairs to our room.
You've met Piero. Good. You'll want to get some rest now. You'll be needed soon.
Want that. Top myself off for food.
Traffic is forbidden from landing in the distillery district due to risk of infectious contact. Violators will be taken to the front.
Lord Pendleton's servant, Wallace, awaits you upstairs. He can show you to your chambers. Sleep well.
Not going to talk about that hole till later.
Dangerous?
Yes, very much so, but no need to fear. He is here to work with our masters.
People say he killed the Empress.
Of course he didn't. People are foolish and believe whatever they're told.
Okay. If the Admiral trusts him, then so will I.
We'll learn more about the people later. I'm not going to waste too much time anymore staying around here, so the wrong button. So this is our room. It's actually dynamic. It will change over the course of the game, which is pretty unique, I think. So we'll actually get more into that later. What is my inventory screen? I should probably figure that out right now. I don't think I have one, to be honest. Inventory? Nope. Let's send inventory to I then. Makes sense, right? So this is the inventory screen. Objectives. Notes. Here you can replay them again, but you don't actually pick up the things. All the books we've read, all the written notes we read. Inventory screen is what I wanted to show you guys. 248 coins right now. 8. Keeps all the keys we have. There's our gadgets, ammo, upgrades. It's going to be useful for later. I love that. Want that. Alright. Want that. Did I say anything else? I didn't. So let's go to sleep now. I'll go to sleep now. Somewhere else. We've waken up in a strange place, where our wall was magically sealed off. And it's raining. And we're not in Kansas anymore, Dorothy. So let's head up this way.
Hello, Corvo. Your life has taken a turn, has it not? The Empress is dead. Her precious daughter Emily is lost somewhere in the city, and you will play a pivotal role in the days to come. For this, I have chosen you and drawn you into the void. I am the outsider, and this is my mark. There are forces in the world and beyond the world, great forces that men call magic. And now, these forces will serve your will. Use this newfound power, my gift to you.
Oh, trust me, we will.
Come find
a lot.
me.
So he's our new friend, and he just gave us the ability to blink. It's basically a teleportation spell, which if you know anything about games, is that teleportation breaks a game. This is probably one of the best abilities, if not the best one. And we're definitely going to like this one. Spiritual remedy. Oh, by the way, the elixirs we get is Solkalov's elixirs, and then the remedies we get, which is for health, by the way, and the remedies we get, which is for mana, is actually Piero's. So that's kind of cool. Fallen letter. You cannot save her. You cannot save her. You cannot save her. You cannot save her. Over and over again. So we're obviously not in the real world anymore. This is a dream. I almost fucked up that jump. Whale oil. Emily's letter. Corvo, I am very sad. They say that you're dead like mother, but I'm going to put this note in a bottle and throw it into the river because I do not believe them. Leaving me here is very strange. I do not like it, so please, come for me if you can. We're going to learn more about this in a little bit. Stop. Pick that up. It's our old friend, the Spy Master here. Pray we never have to fight one of these because they're a pain in the ass. We'll see them later. And if you're watching the top left screen with my blue bar and you're realizing it's autofilling, it's because it's an option. You can have it to autofill. One of the biggest things between the difficulties is how much mana you use on a, well, sorry. I'll have to touch upon that in a second.
Your trials will be great, Corvo. Seek the ancient runes bearing my mark in the lonely places of your world, and at shrines raised in my name. These runes will grant you powers beyond those of other men. To help you find these runes, I give you this, the heart of a living thing, molded by my hands. With this heart, you will hear many secrets, and it will guide you toward my runes, no matter how they may be hidden. Listen to the heart now, and find another rune.
So I'll touch about the heart in a second. So when I use my ability, it doesn't fully consume that. So as long as I don't constantly use it, it won't drain. When I constantly use it and it goes to the very bottom, then it will autofill. What was the other thing I want to mention? There was something else, but I forget now. So basically what that guy gave us was a heart. So now you see how there's no light there? When you're looking at a direction, it will light up and it will beat. And as you get closer, it beats faster. I don't think there's anything down there. No. So I'm not going to worry about going down there. I am, however, going to go down this one. Then I want to come back this way. Down this one. Now if I was to check it again. That's how you know you're getting close to one if you can't find it. So basically that's what this is telling us, is we can use the runes to upgrade and buy new powers. And then for here, we can get a couple different things. I'm not sure if I want to use it just yet, but these are basically enhancements, and these are the powers. So I'll cover them in a little bit. I don't think I have to use this right now. No, I don't.
How you use what I have given you falls upon you, as it has to the others before you. And now I return you to your world, but know that I will be watching with great interest.
Alrighty. So now we have the mark of the outsider here, and we find ourselves with some other unique gifts, which we're going to be looking upon in just a second here. These are from the DLCs, by the way. 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's all from the DLCs. It's kind of not fair using these because it's like an added boost, but I mean it is part of the game. So, rumors and sightings, Dowd. An excerpt from an overseer's covert field report. And Jesus Christ, this is long. I am not gonna read that. I'm sorry, guys. If you want, I'll give you a couple seconds here and there to pause the video in between every paragraph, and then you can all read that. Normally I would try to read these things, but I ain't sitting here reading a book. If you want to read it, normally I try to read these things, but I ain't here sitting a book. If you want to hear an audiobook, then I can link you to some good ones, but yeah. And that's all for that one. Basically, Dowd is the guy that ended up... Dowd is the guy who killed the Empress. He was the guy we seen in the very beginning. Not the one that was holding us in place, but the other one who actually killed the Empress, like I said. This is some notes about him, pretty much. Pouch there. So we got our first bone charm. We can have up to 3 bone charms at once.